Hey Goodfellas! Today we're in beautiful Lucerne. We've already been here once, if you remember, when I selected a new watch for myself at Embassy. Today we are visiting Chronoswiss, which is a Lucerne-based watch brand. Let's go check them out.
Welcome!
Beat!
Welcome. Nice to meet you here.
Guys, Beat, thanks for inviting me. I'm happy that you can show me around here.
It's always a pleasure to meet you.
Fantastic. He's saying this because you have to know that Beat is my Lehrmeister, so he's basically my mentor, the guy who introduced me to watches and everything I know about sales pretty much. And I'm really curious to see what you guys here at Chronoswiss are doing.
I have to say, Samuel, I'm really proud of you.
Oh wow! That's too much. Fantastic.
He was always the best. So, yeah.
Back at the time, he was not saying that I was the best. No,
no, because I could not treat him like that, but I already knew that he's the best.
I'm still trying, I'm still trying to become the best. So, Ben, show us what you've got here. I think it's a very interesting reality that you have here. I have to tell you. Wait, maybe I'll come back to this side. I remember seeing at the time of Embassy, Chronoswiss, and I remember their watches. I don't know why. Quite has an impact to me, the design.
To all of us in the past as well, you know.
Really?
It was like a mechanical watch brand doing interesting mechanisms for a price point which was pretty good.
Yeah.
And so it was something which was attractive, but we were at the time not selling Chronoswiss. So
absolutely. We didn't have
something for someone who was in love with watches. It was always a name which was somehow interesting.
Yeah. But has it always been like a kind of niche brand, or at some point it was very widely distributed, or?
You know, I mean, I think that the situation for watch brands has changed from the time when we were working together at Embassy until now. It has changed a lot because the big brands, they are like incredible powerful with a lot of marketing and distribution money.
Yeah.
They're all together in groups, and that is something which has changed dramatically. And that is for niche brands like we are. It is very difficult if you're somewhere in between. So you're not really a big brand in a group, and you're not really one of the small brands.
Yeah, like one watchmaker.
You know, then if you're in the middle, that's the biggest risk actually. So we're a small brand.
But I think that's probably what's going to be interesting about Chronoswiss to discover, because as you said, you're not big one. You're also not a small one that.
Yeah, but we're a small brand.
We're a
small brand.
All
and
right.
it was maybe in the past that the brand was a bit in between somehow, but the market has really changed. So the circumstances have changed a lot. So it's better that you position yourself somewhere.
Yeah.
And I mean, the company was originally founded in Germany, like back almost 40 years ago, and has moved to Lucerne. And we have here the owner of Chronoswiss on that table, Oliver.
Hi, Oliver.
In a discussion with Patrick.
Hi, Patrick. Great to meet you guys.
So magic happens here. And
I like it because basically what I understand from outside, but you're gonna explain this better. This is basically a retail store, but a bit an uncommon kind of retail store. So it looks like a creative space. It looks like a production, a small, very manufacturing kind of production facility. So I like this feeling I get when I'm coming here, because it gives me the feeling that something is going on, something is happening.
Is it a retail store, Oliver?
It's a working atelier.
It's a working atelier.
We're here open to anybody who likes to learn more.
Yeah.
And we show you whatever we do.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's the idea, not to work behind the secret
doors.
So no, it's open. We're proud of what we're doing, and welcome here.
Thank you very much.
Get an insight.
Absolutely, I'm really happy.
The center is where the pieces are created.
Look at this.
Creational part.
So you have this placement in the middle when you walk in, with the watchmakers actually creating the watches in front of us, right?
Yes, I mean, see, we're somehow in the center of Switzerland with Lucerne.
Yeah.
In the center of Lucerne is our headquarters here at Chronoswiss, and in the center of our headquarters is where the magic happens. And that is where we manufacture the watches. We have this kind of building in the building, and yes, this is in a good environment in terms of noises, of dust. So we're pretty good
So they're protected
they're
here,
protected, so,
but still in the center of
absolutely.
attention, right?
We can really go with visitors and check it out. And it's a bit like you come into a kitchen of a good chef.
Good
that
point.
is what the point is. So it's not anymore that we have these classic retail locations for a manufacturer as we are. So we invite guests to come here and to check everything out and you know, take a little bit of that spirit of that day where we are at the moment.
Absolutely.
What we do. And to see people working and to share with us that experience of Chronoswiss. This is a regulator.
Oh yes, of course it's a regulator.
It's a regulator.
Yeah, okay.
And you know, this is somehow a bit one of the basics of a Chronoswiss, or it's let's say it's a bit of the soul of a Chronoswiss watch. Oliver, why do we have this regulator here? Can you tell us something about it? I mean, it's a fancy piece, huh?
It is a fancy piece, and it goes back to the starting point with Chronoswiss, because we've been the first one actually taking this wall clock regulator technique. The dial, when you look, you have this minute hand, which is starting from the middle, and you have a decentralized second and a decentralized hour hands. So it's a different way of reading the time, and this has brought us up with the idea some almost 40 years back to create a wristwatch which is based on the regulator dial. So this is where a lot of things here in Chronoswiss started, and the Riefler watch itself is the most precise mechanical watch you can still have today. So before you got the atomic watch, this watch only mechanically was doing 10 seconds of difference a year.
Incredible. And what is the tolerance we accept per day nowadays in watchmaking?
It's about 5 to 6 seconds a day.
A day, right?
Yeah.
So imagine,
But
we're talking about...
okay, it's a different kind of mechanism.
Of course, because you have a wristwatch, you have on your wrist, so it gets other kind of shocks, but still, 10 seconds per year is a very small difference. Very interesting. So this is some kind of one of the main inspirations when it comes to the was one of the main inspiration when it comes to the creation of a Chronoswiss watch.
Well, it's about innovation. At this time, most watches were centered watches with 3 dials. So the idea was to do something more innovative, something different. And because these were the most precise watches at this time, the idea was, why not bringing this onto a wristwatch? So that's the story about the regulator.
Perfect, very interesting.
And see, the reason for the regulator was that in the past you didn't have these radio-controlled watches on a watchmaker's desk to regulate your pocket watch after you needed something like a mother clock or a regulator. And that's why you had like this independent time here, that you can see it from the past. So you had like watchmakers, they were working in this direction and they could have looked at the clock here. And then you had like a row of watchmakers far away working in this direction and had a look on the clock. So they needed to have like an independent time display that they would not interfere with the minute and the hour hand, or the minute and the second hand. So the most
I always learn
was
with
actually
it.
the second and the minute.
Yeah.
And that's why, so in the morning when I go to the train, or when I rush to the train, then it's always relevant that I take the minute, you know, and then I see 2 minutes to go, and with this large minute hand, the most relevant time display, what I need as an information is actually the minute. And it shows you this like excellent. And that was in the past like this, and it is in the present as well, a functional reason. So somehow it all started with Chronoswiss at the end of the quartz crisis. Remember the 70s?
I don't remember.
Swiss, yeah, of course we don't remember, but we remember it from the history we have learned when we were at, you know,
quartz crisis.
Quartz crisis. So it almost ruined the Swiss watch industry back in the 70s. And a lot of companies went bankrupt or almost bankrupt, and one of these people working in the watch industry was the founder of this company, and he worked at the time at Hoyer, and he lost his job, like about 13,000 other people as well, and he got paid with movements on his last, or one of his last salaries. So and then he had, in the early 80s, he had a crazy idea to establish a watch company in a time where everybody was interested in mechanical watches.
So people were all going into quartz watches because it was the novelty of
you had these Casio watches with a calculator on it. Shall we go into the detail about the quartz crisis? Because an important thing is actually that it was somehow a bit homemade from the Swiss industry.
So
it was actually not.
I would totally go in detail, because if we have the chance to suck from his knowledge, then we should do.
Okay. Now you see, the thing is actually that the Swiss watch industry was always interested to make fantastic timepieces. That means they wanted to create timepieces. Mike, komm, kannst du da durchlaufen.
Mike?
So Mike, our head of design, we'll see him later then, huh?
Yes,
okay.
We'll see you in a few.
Okay, so back to the point. So it was a bit a homemade crisis, because the Swiss watch industry was always searching for excellence. That means they wanted to create the most precise timepieces in terms of time accuracy. And somehow you got a bit onto a limit with a mechanical watch. I mean, we were talking before that the accuracy of a good mechanical watch is maybe like +0 a day, plus until plus
10.
5, 6, 7 seconds a day. So that is what you can reach. Okay, so then they were going for movements. They were as thin as possible, and somehow they were on a limit, because the watches were already that thin that it doesn't make any sense anymore. So they went back to the accuracy of the watch, and it was clear to them that they could not reach it anymore with
a mechanical
just
movement.
a mechanical watch. So they had to go into electrified movements, like what we had on that regulator, because the regulator is electrified as well, already back in 1927. Okay, so
that regulator we have over there.
Yes, so they went into concepts for wristwatches on that, and the Swiss watch industry was creating superb electrified movements, incredible, precise and expensive.
And we're talking about brands that nowadays are very famous for their mechanical watches, that
they
went
used
into
as well these kind of movements to have like the super precise watch. Okay, but then the Japanese took over. They just made it better and made it more accessible and cheaper. Okay, and then the focus was on how to get the most accurate watch, and then of course people were fascinated with a calculator on it. And then in the early 80s, some innovators or some people, they had maybe a romantic idea, or they believed in that a mechanical thing has a value, like a pen, for example.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean,
absolutely.
It's not just the iPad; it's as well a pen. So
I think the story of the 70s and the watchmaking is very similar in the pen industry in the 2000s with the iPad, Apple Pen, and so on. So please go on.
Yeah.
I think it's extremely interesting, because you get to understand why the watch industry is nowadays where it is, where it was, what happened in between, and where we're at. And with this background story, we also understand where Chronoswiss comes from. So it's not just a brand that was shut out because of some economical reason, but there was a romantic idea behind the birth of Chronoswiss.
Absolutely, and it was as well pretty avant-garde at the time, because if you look at this timepiece here, which is from 1988, so that was a pretty large watch for the time, and it was a watch which had something mechanically interesting to offer, and already with design elements, they were extremely relevant as a recognition value of a timepiece, because a lot of brands, they don't have any recognition value if you cover the brand name on it. And Chronoswiss always had that recognition value, that you look at the watch, and if you once have seen it and you cover everything out of that here, then you see this is a Chronoswiss.
Yeah, you still recognize it.
So you have that onion crown, you have that curled bezel here, then the bezel, you see that as well in the past, and then you have the straight locks, and then with a lot of our timepieces, you have the regulator theme we're going to cover, or we're covering as well these days. So that is somehow a bit our history, which was leading into the current, maybe more bold designs.
Now you understand where I got the storytelling in sales from. It's from Beat. No, every time.
Now I learned it from him.
No, it's not true. It's not true. Every time he explains me something, and he's able to bring out things that are obvious, but we don't think about. And I think let's put this word sales on the side, even if I don't think it's something bad selling. We all sell something in our life, right? In private.
We're somehow proud salespeople.
We
right?
are proud salespeople. We are. There was a time where I was like, no, I'm not a salesperson,
Yeah.
But now I'm back at no, I'm a salesperson. That's totally okay. But I think it's about making recognize. Or letting people recognize the obvious when we sell something. A pen, a watch. At the end of the day, it's a watch, it's a pen. But it's the obvious that we help people understand, that gives it a certain value, and that makes it sexy or not.
Here at Atelier Lucerne, we have actually two main competences in crafts or in artisanal techniques. So it is, one hand, it is like the technique of enameling.
Which is done here.
Yes, we're doing enamel tiles.
Who does it?
And Mike actually.
Oh, Mike does it?
He's guillotine at the moment. We'll
really?
see him later. Then
it's the guy who just passed by.
Yes, and we're going to see him later. So
Perfect.
he's doing enamel tiles. So for the moment, it is maybe a technique what we can master, and we're using it a bit less because we have everything under the approach of modern mechanical. So we want to create historical or a classic craft into a modern design, and that is maybe something what for the moment we are not putting that much of a focus on the enamel technique, but we do it on the guilloche, and I can show you the guilloche techniques here. The person who is really responsible for
Let's go.
he's responsible for a lot of things. This is Mike Panziera.
Hi, Mike.
Okay. He likes it silent. Okay,
we
general.
have to be silent now?
No, but in general he listens to heavy metal music, but we had to turn it off for the video actually.
That's true. And is he angry with us because of that now?
Maybe sort of, because
But what are you doing, Mike, here now? Can you briefly explain us?
Yes, it's a straight line guillotine machine. Straight line means they cut from the middle straight lines to the outside.
And this has a decorative purpose, or is it a mechanical purpose?
It's only for nice.
It's a decoration purpose in this
Decoration,
sense.
But see, one of our key competences what we have here at Chronoswiss is guilloche. We have two guilloche machines. It's a straight line guilloche machine.
Yeah, and there?
It's a guilloche machine Kevin is working at the moment on. So this machine is from the 60s of the last century, and this beauty here is from 1924.
Hi, Kevin.
And don't disturb him. He's working at the moment on a tourbillon dial.
Wow. Try to zoom on the incredible. Yeah.
Okay, so you were asking if this is a mechanical reason. No, it is not. It's a decoration.
It's a decoration
reason.
tool.
But
Yeah.
the very important thing is actually that these dials are part of the movements.
No, come on.
These are not actually just dial elements. They have a decorative purpose.
Yeah.
So these elements are actually functional, and that is something what I can see. The special thing here is if you look at this tourbillon dial, then you see a lot of different holes in it. See? Yeah. And these holes are all functional. That means we use this dial as a part of the movement, and then we build up that mechanism for the regulator, for example. So if you look at my watch here, then you can catch that we have this flying element of this hour ring here, and then you have like the second hand here with that segment, with this retrograde second. And then you have like bridges on top of this. We can show you this maybe on a watch which that is a bit more colorful. Maybe just to show you one of our super special watches we stand for. And what we do right now is this Chronoswiss Open Gear Resec with the retrograde second hand, Paraiba with this hand guilloche style that reflects in different colors. Yeah. You can catch that. It turns from blue to
greenish, turquoise.
Absolutely. So you have these color changes, and that is done. I mean, there is actually no color added to this watch. Huh?
Yeah.
Everything what you see here is metal.
Oh, this is metal?
This is
And
pure metal.
and
It's a CVD plating that brings that metallic look for the color. And it's metal. The only thing what it is color here are the hands. They're white and they have a lot of superluminova.
Superluminova,
on it.
yeah.
So like the hands, they have a lot of superluminova on it. And then we have like these 5-minute markers. These are like ceramic cylinders, and they're done with a lot of superluminova, so they really glow in the morning at 6 o'clock when it's already dark or still dark. Absolutely. When you get up, then they still glow.
Once again, surely not like we say in Swiss, 0815 kind of color. It's something special, it's something strong, but exactly because of that, it makes a difference on the market, and it has a certain impact.
Yes, and the thing is, actually, we have released this particular timepiece like in April this year at the Watches and Wonders Digital. And we recognize that a lot of other brands were coming with green dials. I mean, you even wear a green suit today, right? Or a green blazer.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
So it's certainly something like the more special green dial watch.
Kind of green, that's good. I bought a green Cartier for my wife, so you know the one they presented. So, but yeah, totally. I like the idea of taking the trend, but then transforming it.
We were not taking the
No,
trend.
somehow you took the trend, but you transformed it into a Chronoswiss kind of.
I disagree a bit, because we were doing already like 2 years ago
All
our
right.
first green watch that was changing colors here, and that was a limited edition as well, sold out very quickly.
Yeah.
And then we were doing this Paraiba, which is sold out as well. So this particular watch, we actually had to take it out of parcel leaving for Portugal. We took it out of the parcel to show it to you.
Oh, right now?
Yes.
Okay.
We have to bring it back to the parcel and then deliver it to Portugal. You know, because the watch is sold.
Fantastic, great.
So Karin is covering this beautiful Paraiba again, and then we have here another timepiece from that series of 50 pieces, or from another series of 50 pieces. This was a very successful black-green one, and this is actually the very, very, very last one of this limited edition of 50 pieces. What we're going to finish here, and the watch is already sold as well, so we're going to send it out.
Have you seen this? Have you seen how small these pieces are? I mean, it's insane.
Yes, they are pretty small, actually. And you know,
Obvious.
Karin has one of the most calm hands I know from any watchmaker I've ever seen.
And you have a bit of experience
I
in
have
this
seen
industry.
some watchmakers already. So Karin really has. And you know, this is actually an interesting thing. Karin was working the last couple of days on this watch here. So this is our Open Gear Lucerne Edition.
Yeah, so this one yesterday.
We did a webinar.
Oh, you did a webinar, right?
Yes, we
Very
did a
cool,
webinar,
yeah.
and this was actually that watch. She was working on that watch during the webinar, and that was you know, the last couple of days we put a lot of effort into that.
Fantastic.
And
So now you have
here
4
we have,
pieces
of course,
ready.
as well, restored watches. We have 4 pieces in the final checking here. And
It's awesome. It's awesome because it's happening here. It's actually happening here. And seeing from the webinar to your social media, now seeing Karin who's doing all of this work, and then the watches were still being checked up until the customer gets it. I think it's the kind of experience that I would like.
Samuel, café?
Let's go.
Okay.
Now, would you show me 3 watches? You know my taste. You built it a bit. You and my father built my taste.
What honor! That's not true. I
Now,
mean, you're the tasteful guy now.
Yeah, I've become with the time. But would you show me 3?
You're Italian, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Still, would you show me 3 pieces you think I'm gonna like?
Okay. 3 pieces, just
3.
3. Okay.
3.
We concentrate on
3
pieces.
because I mean,
Yeah.
I think this video is already 1.5 hours. So.
We need to take a look at is something really bold. So it's the pink Panther.
But now you gotta explain why I'm gonna like it.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. I mean, it is a dial which is in this pink color. I mean, you know Giro d'Italia, eh?
Of course!
Maglia Rosa.
Gazzetta dello Sport.
Yes, I mean, this is something what you have to do every morning. You're involved with something like in pink. So now, look at this.
You see, he put my yeah. Anyway,
Look at this.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
this is like a watch which is excellent on a lady's wrist. And we just recently had someone posting on Instagram that real men wear pink.
That's true. I like pink.
It's really cool.
A pink shirt looks awesome under a blue suit.
But this one here, you don't have to make a combination with pink shirt. I mean,
No.
of course, and there's one
We
with
know
pink
that.
pochette.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would be so cliche and uncool.
No,
we know
correct.
that.
Okay.
I know. But still, no. I was saying, pink is a nice color for men. It's a beautiful tone, and yeah, it is another kind of approach than the usual watch one would wear. It's actually pretty cool now that I have it on the wrist.
Something super cool is the Skeltec. So Chronoswiss is not just about guilloche, it's as well about skeletonized watches. So we have like our very first timepiece which was skeletonized, was the first skeletonized chronograph back in 1995. And now this is somehow a skeletonized watch in a next level. So it was not in the classic way skeletonized, it was a movement, or it is a movement that was created as a skeleton. So you can excellently look through. And this now is the Chronoswiss Skeltec Azur. This is the Chronoswiss Open Gear Pink Panther.
So these are both part of the collection like you have today, right?
Yes, both limited edition to 50 pieces.
Which, by the way, I cannot wait to show you what kind of setup Chronoswiss has created to show you the pieces. But we're going to show this in 2 minutes.
Are you interested in this?
Of course, I'm
Okay.
Oh, you.
And then this one here is the one we just have released like this week. So this was the one we have seen in Karin's workshop. That was the one we,
Being tested
Oliver and
now.
myself, were doing the webinar this week.
Yeah.
So this is like the Lucerne Edition. Our limited edition watches have names because they got an inspiration from somewhere. And so this is like the Azur, this is the Pink Panther, this is the Lucerne Edition.
I like this pink one very much, but can you show us this one?
This is the chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah, this watch is like, brown chocolate. And then you have like the red of a pepperoncini, for example, in a chocolate.
Right.
And so this is out of the Reset collection as well. And so very bold design, like in brown, red, with this new textile strap we have.
Very nice one. Very nice one.
It's a really cool watch.
Wrist
test.
Wrist shot.
How cool is this? This green of your blazer with this red of this dial.
Very cool one.
I mean,
huh?
I don't have to say this. I mean, is it cool somewhere?
It is very cool. Okay. I really like it. I like the depth.
Which is sold out?
Which
Chocolate.
And the chocolate.
Is the chocolate sold out already?
No, that is not sold out. The Paraíba is sold out. This is the one we're going to deliver.
This one was also a limited edition, right?
Yeah, limited edition to 50 pieces, limited edition to 50 pieces.
Very nice. So this is a kind of what is this? Emile?
No, this is a non-Vio style. It's a very special missile structure which was done under pressure.
Yeah.
And it's it's a bit the watch Mike was designing, as a kind of a jeans watch.
Yeah.
True. That is a watch which looks really super cool with that kind of jeans you're wearing.
Yeah. With Stan Smith and.
Then I love the combination.
Of
with
course,
this
I think
green.
everybody can break the rules. I think that's a nice part of it.
But you have to master the rules before you can
break
break them, right?
Yeah. But we have to make it attention because
Stealing that one.
exactly.
So from you?
No, from
No,
a,
this is Audemars
yeah.
Okay, shit.
Okay,
But now a key thing. Okay, so I have to admit I've been here 2 weeks ago, and Beat showed me something that I was very impressed with, and it's up there. You guys are based here in Lucerne, okay? And you have your watches, and you deliver the experience when someone comes here. But what if I am in Qatar? What if I am in Japan? What if I am in Hong Kong? How are you gonna give me the experience that you're giving me here?
Okay, so first of all, if you're in Japan, then we have since a long time our distributor in Japan who is doing an excellent job, of course. But if you're in Hong Kong or in Vancouver or as well
somewhere
in
where I
Germany,
don't have access to
let's
the
say,
watches,
as
right?
well, it is something what we have learned during the pandemic. You know,
Exactly.
everything was closed, but we were selling watches. You know, and we had to digitalize the company, or we had to do a digital effort. We had to learn that quickly and fast, and we have now a device or a setup. We can get in contact with customers all over the world to bridge a bit this experience between getting into a store, testing the watch on your wrist, or just buying it
Of a website.
Yeah,
you know, which is not so
it
sexy.
works, you know, it works,
It
and
works.
it is something like, I mean, the entire luxury industry is
Builds on that right now,
putting
right?
a lot of thoughts in what is actually the future on that. But somehow to have something to get in a personal contact is really super valuable. Would you like to see it?
Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go check it out. So, we got, first of all, we were just down there, and now we're up here.
Yes, we're now above the watchmakers
Can I sit here?
Okay, sit
I want
here.
you to show it, but I want to sit
Okay,
here.
you want to experience
Yes.
it? Okay, great. Okay, so we're going to
like that a lot.
have now the light, you know, oh, sorry. Have the light,
On television.
okay. And then we're going to set up now a Zoom call.
Come check it out, Victor. So,
Okay. Okay, we're going to set up now a Zoom call. So we have done now that setup. We are here with that with a Zoom call with Christoph. I mean, he's working with us here, but just to show you actually what we're doing. And so we have to close the door.
Yeah, let's close the
Otherwise
door
we get, okay, so now we have Christoph here, and we have that setup with 3 4K cameras here. And with this device we can switch between different cameras. So that is actually what Christoph sees here. Okay.
switch it.
We switch it here between
Same.
camera for one setup, also for one person. Then we have a setup where we have actually the 2 people here, you know, like this.
Here and
And then we have like the camera where we go to the watches. We can, if you hold the watch like a bit calmly, then see the
Look over there, Victor. Check it out. I mean,
quality that he has here.
so
That is actually what he sees. And we
So
can,
you go on the Chronoswiss website, and there you get the chance to kind of schedule a meeting with you guys, right?
yes, I mean that is one thing, but the other thing is actually that you just get in contact with us, and then, or you know, we are talking about the watch, and then we
Exactly.
say, let's go to a Zoom call. Would you be ready in 10 minutes? And then we discuss instead of on the phone. We discuss the watch directly via Zoom.
Yeah, but to do that, I go on the website, right? That's how it works.
Yeah, but you can call us as well. So recently we had, for
Okay,
example,
so it's
we
very-
get a phone call,
Yeah.
and then we have someone on the line asking for a specific watch, and then we ask him, hey, how about if we go to a Zoom call, and we can show you the watches or the watch, and we can respond to all the questions. We can discuss it in real time, and we can show you all the details you would like to know on that watch.
So, I mean, do you understand? I mean, you call Chronoswiss, or you go on the website and you get a chance. Okay, you call them, and Beat or anyone who's in charge of showing you the pieces is gonna tell you, you know what? Let's get on a Zoom call. They send you a link. You tune in into the link on the time you have defined, and you have all of the setup where you have a close-up on me as a,
Yeah.
let's call it sales guy, okay?
The person who's
who's
discussing this with
exactly,
you, you know?
and it's basically like we are face to face. So right now we have Christoph who's over there. If he is interested in a watch, show him quickly.
But you know, Christoph is actually now in the quality of his laptop. That is actually the camera of his laptop.
Yeah.
But what he sees is actually the 4K
Of course.
quality of our camera system.
Which is this, and then I mean you start talking, you do the whole sale, not sale,
You
but we
invite
discuss-
the people to Atelier Lucerne here, and let's have a Zoom call in 10 minutes. Let's meet us on Zoom in 10 minutes. And then it's not really the experience you have from a laptop camera. You know, as we learned at the beginning, we were doing this like on Skype, we were turning the watch, or we had WhatsApp calls and things like that. But now we have this exceptional system, and you know, just this device here, this Atelier Mini Pro actually this year, where you can select different channels. I mean, that was like years ago. Something you better know than me. I mean, that was super expensive, something like this.
Yeah.
Now you have this in a small
It's
device.
pretty much a DJ kind of.
Absolutely. Yeah, and you know, with the kind of technology what we have, we can, as said, we can bridge the gap between going into a store or having an experience at the moment you have time, you don't have to move. And you know, it was something extremely valuable during the pandemic. We sold a lot of watches with this.
And still, I guess you have a lot of sorry, but I'm in love with this setup. So no, but what
Tschüss, Christoph.
Thank you, Christoph.
Tschüss. You did a wonderful job.
Yeah, thank you so much for showing us around, for showing our viewers around. I'm sure they enjoyed very much, getting all these incredible insights from your side about the watch industry and about what you guys are doing here at Chronoswiss.
Hey, thank you for visiting us on this beautiful day here. I mean, look at the mountains here. I mean, look at this. I mean, the lake is like 3 minutes from here, and the mountains, you know, that is actually Lucerne. And thank you for coming all the way down to your place where you did the apprenticeship here and coming back to us. It was fantastic. Thank you for being with us.
Thanks, it's been a pleasure once again being with you, Beat. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you like this video. Leave a like, comment, let me know what you think about this tour with it together with Beat. And don't forget that together we are changing the game.